Pennsylvania sees thousands of deer-related car crashes each year. And if you get into a crash,
our phone is ringing, no joke, off the hook.
Why you could get stuck waiting months for a car repair.
Small businesses feeling the pinch of inflation as the retail rush kicks off.
We've really tried not to raise prices.
How Small Business Saturday could bring some much-needed foot traffic.
A local woman murdered at a car wash 32 years ago, but new DNA evidence could crack the case. Target 11 investigates what's stopping police from sending it off.
Now, Channel 11 News. Coverage you can count on.
Driving in Pennsylvania during the fall means looking out for deer, and a collision could be costly even with insurance.
Yeah, sure thing. Now people are finding they can barely get in for an estimate. Channel 11's Lauren Talata spoke at the repair shop to find out why.
We're here at Chuck's Auto Body in McCandless. They're telling us this is one of the craziest deer seasons ever, and that SUVs like this with extensive front end damage might not even be looked at until January or February.
Our phone is ringing, no joke, off the hook.
It's officially deer season in western Pennsylvania, and we're not just talking about hunting.
You never know when they're going to jump right in front of your car.
Auto body shops inundated with requests for repairs.
Probably 7 out of 10 calls at this time are deer collisions.
With driver after driver hitting the roads this holiday season and hitting deer in the process.
I'm getting bombarded with estimates, and they're like, oh, well, the other shop won't even write an estimate until January now because we are so booked.
Chuck Eierman, the co-owner of Eierman Brothers Enterprises, says his auto body shop is booked months out.
What we're trying to do is prioritize, kind of like an emergency room. We're trying to take only those that are non-drivable and concentrate on fixing those for the insurance companies. And then the ones that are drivable, we're pushing out a few months until it kind of calms down a little bit and we can actually get them in the shop.
The reason for the surge? Eierman says it's a perfect storm, from an abundance of deer out and about to a shortage of both manpower and parts. But the biggest problem?
The way the insurance companies are handling these claims are all through photographs. So they're taking, they're having your random person go out there with your cell phone and take some pictures, sending it to the insurance company. They're writing an estimate from a photograph. So when it comes into the shop, it's inaccurate.
Which Eierman says can lead to delays when getting authorization from insurance companies and sometimes having to order additional parts. But there are things you can do as a driver to help expedite the process, starting with deciding who will repair your car, then going through your insurance company's process and following a comprehensive deer hit claim. But even then, it could still take time.
The holidays are coming. They're like, well, I can't drive my car on a holiday trip with it like this. I need you to help me now. And unfortunately, you can only take so many people's, plea for help at one time.
So if you do get unlucky and hit a deer, shop owners are reminding everyone that this is a step-by-step process and they're asking for everyone's patience. Reporting in McCandless, Lauren Talata, Channel 11 News.
New at 6, a man was rushed to the hospital after he was electrically shocked on the job. Pittsburgh police say this happened around noon today on Paulson Avenue in the city's Lincoln-Leamington neighborhood. Police say the man was working on the roof when it happened. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition. The latest now in a story we followed since it broke last night. 2 teenagers are in critical condition, both shot on Thanksgiving in the city's Sheridan neighborhood. Police say they were called to Sherwood Avenue just before 9 o'clock last night. Officers found one teenage boy with gunshot wounds to his chest, arm, and leg. The other teen had been hit in the ribs and arm. Both teens were rushed to the hospital in critical condition.
A Sewickley Township woman convicted of dozens of animal neglect charges has been sentenced to 8 years of probation. Our partners at the Trib tell us Nicole Marzoli wasn't present at the trial. The animals seized from her home were ordered to be forfeited to the Humane Society of Westmoreland County. She has to pay nearly $650,000 in fines. Another man, Carl Kuhn, also pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 years of probation. A Greensburg woman is banned from holding duties as a certified registered nurse practitioner for writing fraudulent prescriptions for thousands of pills. Carrie Howlett is serving 3 years probation and in drug and alcohol treatment. She was arrested last year by the state attorney general's office.
Black Friday is traditionally one of the busiest shopping days of the year, but small businesses are preparing for tomorrow and hoping for a major boost with a nationwide push to shop small and support local. As Channel 11's Nicole Ford found out, those businesses have faced some major challenges this year.
Malls and big stores filled up for Black Friday. Small business districts like East Ohio Street are gearing up for Small Business Saturday. More than 23 million stores will participate, including the Farmer's Daughter right here on the north side. This week is huge for retailers as we kick off the holiday season.
It's the beginning of just our ramp up into holiday pandemonium.
For Maggie's Farm Rum, this season of shopping accounts for 40% of their yearly business. So they spend the whole year getting ready for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday.
We start preparing for OND in like June, July. And it's stockpiling products, packaging. We had to shop around for milk jugs for our eggnog in June this year.
But this year brings new challenges.
Things are so different this year. Part of the thing is, well, you know, the Grinch that stole Christmas, well, inflation stole Christmas. And so people are concerned, they're cutting back, they started shopping much earlier.
Marketing professor Dr. Audrey Gusky studies the consumer trends. She says 40% of people will spend significantly less this year trying to shop more at discount stores.
And believe it or not, the National Retail Federation is predicting that sales are going to increase by 6 to 8%. However, you look at inflation, so we're going to be paying more for less.
So where do small businesses land when it comes to inflation?
We've definitely been paying more for some of the raw materials. A lot of packaging has hit our industry pretty hard. We've really tried not to raise prices.
Because of that effort, Will Grove says the business hasn't seen a dip in shoppers due to inflation. He's hopeful people will still be willing to support them this weekend, even with less money in their pockets.
We don't have the economies of scale, like if you're buying 15 truckloads of cans or bottles or anything, then you get price breaks, and we don't get that as much. So having people willing to come out right now has been really awesome.
Gusky anticipates a good turnout for independent businesses as she finds shoppers are more willing to spend the money in their own communities.
People are supporting them, and this is such a big holiday that people know, and a lot of communities are doing various events to get people on board.
When you look at the data, it's not just independent shops that benefit from Small Business Saturday, but restaurants too. Across the country, 54% of people said that they dined in or ordered out from a local restaurant, and that was up from 48% the year before. Reporting on the north side, Nicole Ford, Channel 11 News.
Rising inflation is having an impact on how people shop. One survey found people are preparing to spend more overall and trimming their Christmas list to compensate. But there are some creative ways to save without trimming your nice list. Experts say one of the keys to saving is being careful about what you buy. For example, baking and cocktail kits can cost hundreds of dollars, but you might be able to save by gathering your own supplies at a supermarket and dressing them up.
When someone sees something beautiful being presented to them, it immediately sparks joy, right? That's what this holiday season is all about.
If you're not the most crafty person, like me, you might consider getting something created by a local artist. Artsmiths of Pittsburgh in the South Hills has gifts from dozens of local shops, and the annual Handmade Arcade Holiday Market will take over the convention center next weekend. A Channel 11 exclusive as the Miracle Bar in downtown Pittsburgh as it prepares for its grand opening tonight. It's decked out, ceiling to floor and decorations, but they actually had to tone it down. The bar was supposed to be open on Wednesday, but the fire marshal ordered them to tone down the decorations.
Wednesday was definitely disappointing when we find out in the middle of the afternoon that we can't open. So it definitely, we had our whole staff here and everything. But, you know, you got to go with it. It's Christmas, so we're all happy and cheery again now that we get to open tonight.
The owner tells us they expect large crowds this weekend and all throughout December. It's also taking donations for local charities through New Year's Eve.
A live look now at Pittsburgh International Airport, which has seen hundreds of thousands of people coming and going through the week. Millions of people are expected to travel nationwide, with the TSA screening more than 2 million people on Wednesday alone. Employees at Pittsburgh International tell us they expect Sunday to be the busiest day for travelers. Meantime, several airlines have stopped flying to smaller airports. The Regional Airline Association says smaller airports lost about 34% of flight traffic in 2022. For passengers, that can mean higher prices, more layovers, and longer drives to larger airports. More details now. Earlier this month, we told you Spirit Airlines would stop flying from Arnold Palmer Regional Airport to Fort Lauderdale. That change comes after the airline approved a nearly $4 million buyout from JetBlue. The airport is looking for other low-cost carriers. State police were in Latrobe today, spreading the word about their Shop with a Cop event taking place next month. For more than 10 years, the Shop with a Cop program has helped local children have a fun holiday shopping experience. Every child sponsored will be allowed to spend $150, and Walmart will donate a winter coat and other holiday gifts.
So right now we are working on our sign campaign, which sponsors a kid for Shop with a Cop. You can see we have these signs that are available, and if you are interested in sponsoring a child for Shop with a Cop, it's just $150.
The group is hosting an ugly Christmas sweater, fundraiser on December 3rd at Huber Hall in Latrobe. Tickets to the event are $30 and you can buy them right online.
Well, it was a soggy start this morning, but a beautiful afternoon. Dry conditions right now. But we do have another chance of rain on the way this weekend. I'm tracking when you'll see those soggy conditions back with us. That's next.
A local hospital shifting its focus for mental health services. The changes on the way for the Alkiski Valley.
Up next, a Target 11 investigation. A woman murdered at a local car wash.
There's somebody out there that has a piece of information that I think could solve the case.
The Facebook post that brought a new witness forward 3 decades later. Now to a Target 11 exclusive. Could new information and old evidence help solve a more than 30-year-old murder mystery? A woman found dead in her car at a local car wash, and to this day, the case remains unsolved.
But as Target 11 investigator Rick Earl discovered, police are hoping a combination of old and new will ultimately lead them to the killer.
32 years, and there has been nothing, absolutely nothing.
It's been 32 years since Kathy Wagner's sister-in-law, Deborah June Wagner, was found dead in her car at a car wash in Hempfield Township. It was 1990. Debbie was living with her boyfriend and his mother in South Greensburg. She managed a local restaurant. On the early evening of April 18th, she went out to buy cigarettes and get her car washed. The operator of the car wash was just closing up for the night. He told police he saw Debbie vacuuming her car right here. She was by herself. The next morning, a police officer on routine patrol spotted her vehicle still in the same place.
He was able to see that there was a female that was slumped in the vehicle.
Trooper Steve Lamani showed us an aerial photo of the crime scene. The green sedan is Debbie's car. According to reports at the time, she struggled with her killer while being strangled with her own sweater. An autopsy reportedly revealed traces of skin tissue under her fingernails. No one has ever been charged, and family members say over the years they've heard very little from police. But last fall, they say, an investigator reached out to them, told them they have DNA evidence, but are now waiting for a grant to pay for testing.
We do have evidence, but we can't afford to send it in. It costs too much money. And after the officer left, it started eating away at me. It's like, wait a minute, this is a homicide. How can you not send DNA?
We're able to get money if we have to send stuff out.
Trooper Lamani said money isn't the issue.
If we think that the thing that we have and that test will solve based on the thing that we have, then we're going to pay for it, obviously. That's a no-brainer.
Trooper Lamani says police have collected 50 pieces of evidence and have interviewed more than 400 people. And one of those interviewed just came forward last year.
He said, I have a story to tell you.
He first reached out to Tony Fumura, who had started a Facebook page about the unsolved murder of her classmate. She says the man told a shocking, almost unbelievable story about a conversation he had with a woman years ago.
She was crying, upset, saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he's like, well, what's wrong? And she said, my boyfriend killed that poor girl from Carbon.
I spoke with that man by phone. He didn't want us to use his name. Shortly after the crime, he says a friend told him her boyfriend had killed the woman here at the car wash. He told his mother, and she said she would make a phone call. They never talked about it again. And then he recently saw that Facebook post about the unsolved murder here. Fumira immediately put him in touch with state police. He told me he spoke by phone with an investigator, but hasn't heard back.
Yeah, we've been conducting interviews. None of this has stopped. There's somebody out there that has a piece of information that I think could solve the case of Deborah Wagner.
I just know Debbie didn't deserve this, and whoever did this needs to pay for what they did.
Something needs to be done, really. Answers. We just want answers.
You would like to see justice, I'm sure.
Yes, I would. I would like to put everyone at rest.
Family members say police told them Debbie was not sexually assaulted or robbed, and they say her boyfriend cooperated with investigators, even passed a polygraph test. Today, there's still a $2,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
Allegheny Valley Hospital will no longer offer inpatient mental health services to younger adults. Starting Monday, the hospital will only offer psychiatry services to patients 60 and older. The hospital tells our trip partners the move is a response to a growing need for geriatric services. Younger adults were to be diverted to Forbes Hospital in Monroeville or Jefferson Hospital in Jefferson Hills.
Your severe winter Team 11 forecast.
What a day we had yesterday for Thanksgiving. Beautiful conditions. We had rainy conditions this morning that quickly faded away to sunshine before the sun went down. And now with the clear skies, temperatures are tumbling. We had 51 degrees today and now it's 43. So those marks will continue to fall here over the next couple of hours. 42 at 7 o'clock, 39 at 9, and then 38 at 11 p.m. tonight. Overnight lows. That's 30 degrees. Some spots will get a little bit colder than that. So a chilly night ahead, down to 28 in Butler, 27 in Washington. Most of us, though, right around that 30-degree mark or just at that freezing mark. So chilly start tomorrow morning, but tomorrow is really the best day to get outside to do that outdoor decorating if you've been waiting to do that. Tomorrow is the day, and also as we head maybe shopping for a Small Business Saturday, great day to get outside as well. You won't need an umbrella tomorrow, but maybe some layers to start the day. 36 at 9 o'clock, 49 at 1. Highs tomorrow. Lower 50s we go. 53 degrees. That's the high tomorrow. We will have nice conditions even for dinner time tomorrow night. Looking good. We'll notice some cloud cover move on in because rain will impact our traveling conditions on Sunday. So we're looking at rain, steady rain at times. So that's why I mentioned get that outdoor decorating done ahead of the wet weather on Sunday. So that rolls in 4 a.m. on Sunday morning, coming in out of the south and the west. Some steady rain at times, about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So rainfall on Sunday, possibly anywhere between 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, depending on where you're located. Some dry conditions at lunchtime as we top out in the upper 50s, near 60 degrees Sunday, but a chance to see some isolated rain showers really Sunday afternoon. So we will have a soggy end to the weekend. Monday, mostly cloudy, a few showers left over in the morning at 46. Dry Tuesday at 53. The next chance of rain again then will come Wednesday, and that will knock temperatures back quite a bit as we head into the end of next week.
Thank you, Stephanie. The Steelers preparing to take on the Colts right here on Channel 11, what the team is hoping to build off of when they take the field Monday night.
This is Channel 11 Sports, sponsored by UPMC Health Plan.
For the first time, Channel 11 WPXI is your local broadcast home for Monday Night Football as the Steelers take on the Indianapolis Colts. The JP Roofing countdown clock counting down to Monday night's showdown. The Steelers are hoping to build on some success they've had in the run game the last few weeks. Najee Harris talking today about what's been working for the team since the bye week.
We scored 30 points. We executed a lot more. We obviously still had a lot of MAs, but we're going in the right direction of that. So I think that we're doing a good job of really just coming out this bye week and heading towards the right direction. Obviously, it takes time, but we're heading up that road. We just got to keep focusing on that and keep putting our head down and keep working.
And we're working to bring you the best coverage on Monday here on Channel 11. The Black and Gold Zone starts at 6 on Monday. Kickoff is at 8:15, and we will have live coverage from Indianapolis after the game. And tonight, you can get your first look at the Jerome Bettis Show, sponsored by Bet Rivers Online Casino and Sportsbook. That's at 8:30, streaming on WPXI Now, or you can catch it on Channel 11 tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. or 1 a.m. Champions are being crowned at Acrisure Stadium. Steel Valley and Union both winning titles so far today. 2 more will be crowned tonight. And we will have those champions and all the big plays and championship moments. That's coming up tonight at 11:15 on Skylights. I'm Jenna Harner, Channel 11 Sports. We'll have one last look at the weather when we come back.
Chilly start tomorrow morning, but a beautiful day. A mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures get to the lower 50s. Dry tomorrow, but wet weather returns on Sunday with steady rainfall at times early Sunday morning. I have the very latest timing on that system. The second of the weekend coming up tonight at 11.
Forecast is looking good for Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us for Channel 11 News at 6. Your winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers are just 30 minutes away.
We'll see you right back here at 11 for WPXI tonight. Enjoy your evening.